Good evening, everyone, to Victory Park in downtown Dallas. I'm Joe Trahan, and as you can see, I'm in the midst of a bunch of cyclists. In fact, they're some of the best in the world, and they're here for the Texas TOUGH Grand Prix. Now, for those of you not familiar with professional cycling, I want you to think NASCAR on two wheels. These guys will get up to some incredible speeds on the bike, some 50 miles an hour. We've got a slick track tonight, so it could make for some exciting and fun-filled racing. Now, this is all part of Texas TOUGH, a pledge-based fundraiser for Children's Medical Center. This evening's race, a way to heighten the awareness of Texas TOUGH and give the folks that come out an exciting time. Now, we'll be following the race for the next half hour and meeting some of the people that make it happen each year. And yeah, we'll also try and get up close and personal with some of the fans who come out and support Texas TOUGH. Let's get you out to the track right now to check in on the racing.
We used to get a stop on the old Tour of Texas in the late 80s, early 90s. There would always be a Criterium down at Fair Park, maybe a Criterium in Fort Worth, or a circuit race over Flagpole Hill. But it's been a long dry spell, and to have a legitimate national caliber with a lot of not only national caliber but world caliber cyclists here, it's very exciting, and it's great to have it second year in a row, a better field even this year, a better crowd tonight despite the rain. Ready to roll.
That's right. So, folks, this is your first lap. I want you to get a little hand out, and get your giddy up going on. This is your first lap. It was neutral, and now they are racing! Joe Eldridge on the front, turning the screws, baby! Yeah.
Well, these guys will be tired here in a little bit. It's a relatively flat course, but there's a slight rise here, as you can see, going through the start-finish area. There's also a slight rise on the backside of the course. And at the speeds they're racing at, and over the hour and a half of racing, it'll take its toll. Last year we had some groups that got away for a while, but they were always swallowed up. But towards the end of the race, Heath Blackglove, who went on to win the race, got away, and he stayed away by himself. It was a pretty impressive effort.
He just raced like a rock star. And, of course, their whole team raced great. They shut it down, and I think they walked away with a ton of money. The Texas TOUGH coifers, you know, they opened up their own little personal banking account, I think, when they left here. So you can look, folks. If you don't know what's really going on, all you got to do is turn around. We've got helicopters and, I think, 9 HD cameras that are now broadcasting our race live.
Yeah, thanks to Channel 8 for the hookup here. High-definition television, these giant screens here, not quite as large as Jerry has at the new Death Star Stadium, but pretty big, and it gives you a great perspective of what's going on around the course. It's also a small enough course if you want to walk the course. That's also a very good idea. You've got over an hour. You can go check out the action in all the corners.
So, Floyd, this race is kind of a big deal for you guys, isn't it?
Yeah, we have the national Criterium champion, John Murphy, on our team, and so pretty good chance of winning these types of things. But yeah, this is one of our last races of the year and one of the biggest.
We get you to be our expert analyst. When we've got these slick conditions like we do during a race like this, how does it affect you guys on the bike?
Yeah, well, it's obviously a little more dangerous, and we slow down a little bit in the corners, but there's always somebody that's going to take some risks. So there's often more crashes, but sometimes more entertaining for the people watching, but not so much for us. But the good thing is it doesn't hurt as bad when you slide.
Excitement, entertainment, but this is all for a good cause. Talk about why you got involved and why you think it's important for other people to get involved in a race like this.
Yeah, absolutely. They're raising money for the Children's Medical Center, and I really can't think of a better cause than helping kids. And so we all came down here because we believe in that, and we think that everyone else that's nearby and got some time should head down here.
There's an attack on the right-hand side. Now we got a couple of riders trying to get up the front. That looks like, is that Adrian Hedgeberry, rider number 52? That looked like the heads. Let me see here. It was Hagens, Bourbon, Carl, and Mike Creed. And it looked like Carl Menzies also trying to go across our Tasmanian. Michael Creed is also a very, very talented racer, racing for Team Type 1. So, look at this damage that's being done, and there's riders that these guys will never see the front end of this race ever again. Not because we don't love them, but it's just the simple fact of bike racing that these guys have already lit the torch, dropped the bombs, and now they're up the road.
Well, it's a great honor for us to be part of Texas TOUGH. We have a tradition of serving patients and families for almost 100 years. The first Texas TOUGH was a great event. The second Texas TOUGH is going to be even better. these folks, these athletes, to come out and ride their bicycles as they do as a show of support for the patients and families that we take care of every day. Kids with heart disease, kids who have cancer, kids who may need an organ transplant, kids who may just have serious upper respiratory illness that need the benefit of what we do at Children's Medical Center. So for these riders to place their trust in us, as patients and families place their trust in us each day, that sacred trust, it's just an honor for us to be a part of this. We have the privilege of serving hundreds of thousands of children each year, and we think about each one of those children and their families as a unique opportunity for us to do what we do best. When you think about this event, the affordability of the registration, the opportunity to raise pledges on behalf of children that you know, from your neighbors, from the folks you go to school with, the kids you go to church with, this is a great chance for many to contribute in a small way to make a tremendous big impact.
So Craig, it looks like a couple of riders are trying to bridge across to this that are big heavy hitters. They realize that this race may be over if they don't go.
Yeah, they know that's a very dangerous group. 4 guys, all very good racers and all working together, and their gap is steady every lap, so they know that there's not a weak link in there. And the teams that have missed out are desperately trying to catch back on. You see that every time they come through the start-finish area. There's a smaller group of 2 or 3 guys desperately trying to get across, and then you can notice the group behind them completely strung out. And I noticed the last time through on the very back of that group was Floyd Landis. So when a rider of his caliber is on the back of that strung out group, you know the speed is really high.
Now, if you think the riders are excited, I got another guy who's pretty excited too. The executive director of Texas Tough is Jeff Gotze. Jeff, you got it going. Things are happening now. How excited are you?
It's electric. It's just how we thought it was going to be when we first visited this site about 2.5 years ago. And I told Joel, my partner, I said, hey, this is where it's got to happen, right here. And we do this race to draw attention to Children's Medical Center. The idea for us is that we want people to know, hear, and understand what Children's is doing for all the kids and families that it treats every year. You know, it treats about 400,000 kids and families each and every year, and a lot of times can even go unnoticed. And this is what Texas Tough is all about. This is what the Grand Prix is all about. Bringing in the best, putting on a good show, giving us an opportunity to get in front of media and get in front of other people that need to hear the message.
What's been the instant feedback so far, Jeff?
Last year, it was off the charts, man. It was talked about in the cycling community, and when I say cycling community, I don't just mean the local community. I'm talking about on the national level, in the big magazines. One of the most exciting electric races in the country. This year, in its second year, we already have the best professional cycling field here in Dallas for a one-day race, bar none, across the country this year, which is very exciting. So.
And that certainly bodes well for the future of Texas Tough. That's Jeff Gotze. Good luck with it, man. You guys are doing great work.
Thank you.
All right, thanks so much. Speaking of good work, they're working pretty hard out on the track. Let's get you back out there.
A lot of the local racers who are extremely fast in these parts, they're starting to suffer now because of the pace. And when you get around some of these international caliber riders, it gets really tough.
And I'm thinking Jake Keel on this one, but I don't know. Jake Keel, no, it's going to be... Is that Sean Milne picking that up? It looked like Sean Milne, racing for Team Type 1, got that. Was it Sean Milne? So that was the mid-race pre.